So would you like to see the position?
Your audio sounds like it's bugging a bit on my end. I'm not sure if that's on. Looks like it's on your end because this has got voice connection.
Hello, hello. Do you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So who would like to
Who would I like to moderate? I mean, I'm fine with Apollo doing it, but if Apollo is not really available to, I'd be fine with just doing no mod.
Well, I don't think Apollo's a good mod. He's on mobile and stuff. Do you know Sakazuki?
He's what?
Apollo is not a good mod.
Oh, what's the problem with Apollo modding?
First, he's laggy as hell. Like he's on mobile, so he wouldn't be able to mute us, and he doesn't have a loud voice, so he wouldn't be able to interject. Or he just doesn't listen.
I'd be fine if you're down to just do no moderator. You cool with that?
I mean, bro, like I'm trying to have an actual conversation about the topic. I'm not trying to get interjected.
Yeah,
Like, are you fine with like?
You.
Okay, sure. So, what's your position?
Sure.
Hello?
So I'm of the view that the mind is. Oh yeah, there's like an audio glitch or something. If it sounds like I'm interrupting you or something, just know there's like an audio issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe on
Let me know
end,
if I need. Let me know if I ever need to like refresh something. But go ahead.
All good. So yeah, I'm of the view the mind is immaterial. Yeah, I'm guessing you're of the view it's material.
Sure. So, argument for it being immaterial.
Cool. Sure. So I think that one thing is that the mind, descriptively, I think that the P-zombie argument is pretty compelling. Chalmers' P-zombie argument. We can go through that if you want, or alternatively, we can just go through the arguments for why materialism broadly is wrong. Both of those.
Okay, so we can go to the first one if you would like to.
Yeah, sure. All right. So are you familiar with the P-zombies argument from Chalmers?
What'd you say?
Are you familiar with the P-zombie argument
I'm not.
from Chalmers?
I'm not.
All right. So, like, if I ask you, is it the case that it's conceivable that somebody could have all of the same physical facts about them, right, but not have any kind of like internal state, right? They don't have a mind. They've got like all the same physical stuff, but we're imagining this person just hypothetically. They don't have a mind. Is that something that you could imagine?
So you're asking me if it is conceivable for me to know all physical facts about myself?
No. I'm just asking you, is it conceivable that somebody could have identical physical facts to somebody else, and they don't have a mind? Right, but the other person does have a mind. So, like, somebody could have identical physical facts to me, right? They could look like me, act like me, talk like me, but nothing's going on inside the brain.
Okay.
Physical facts, but no mind.
Yeah. So if you're referring to it, I think you're referring to it, then sure.
Okay.
Like, for example, if they're in a dead state, like hold on. Like, for example, if their mind's not in a functioning state, they cannot conceive, they cannot think or anything like that, but they still do have physical facts applied to them. Like, for example, how they appear, etc. Then sure, I can conceive of that.
Yeah, and those appearances aren't just like similar; they're identical.
Like outside, sure.
Yeah, and also the physical facts about them internally are identical.
Internally, such as,
for example, the positions of the atoms in the brain.
Wait, okay. Do you agree that the mind? Okay, do you believe the mind and the brain are the same thing?
No.
Okay, perfect. So if I were to say that, then sure. I'm not really too knowledgeable in like the brain stuff, but sure.
That's fine, yeah. So if we imagine somebody is identical in all of the physical respects, they'd be identical in all the material respects as well, right?
Sure. From my knowledge, yeah.
Okay. Sure. So we can imagine if it's the case that it's possible to be identical in physical respects, but not in mental respects. That would mean that the mental and the physical aren't identical.
The mental. Okay, so repeat the last thing you said.
Yeah, if we know it's possible for you to be identical in physical respects, but not in mental respects, then we know the physical and mental aren't identical.
So the problem is I'm not debunking or agreeing to the fact that it is not possible. What I'm saying is that sure, it can be possible. However, the reason why we don't have knowledge on, for example, the state or nature of the mind is because we just have not, there's no empirical basis or anything to go off of on what the nature of the mind is. So yes, sure, we can conceive of someone without a mind, but that's because we can conceive of someone without a mind because we know what a mind does to you. We know the functions that basically comes from a mind. However, we don't know what the mind is. So
yeah, I can agree that we don't know what the mind is for sure. But I can say that we certainly do have good reason to believe that it's not the same as the material. And if it's the case that we understand something could be physically and thus material identical, not mentally identical, then that thing would be something which is
What
whatever
Sinthe?
that mental. Uh-huh.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the mental content just wouldn't be the same as the physical content.
Okay,
Mental propositions
before we
don't
get into that,
intervene just to physical ones.
yeah, the problem is I'm saying that the physical facts are identical because from the things that we know, I'm saying, like, for example, I have an arm, you have an arm. That's the physical fact that is identical with each other. However, I'm saying to our knowledge of mind is there, we can consume the mind, not being there's because of the mind. So if that is the case, then this physical fact that we don't have knowledge on is exclusive of the statement. It's not that the physical fact isn't, or it's not that this thing isn't a physical fact. It's just a physical fact.
Yeah, that's fine. You can say that we don't know it for sure. But if it was the case that if it's the case we don't know it, then instead of saying it's possible, you'd have to say you don't know if it's possible. Right? If you're saying it's possible and you don't know it, it's kind of like
Do you want to say, okay?
Set of commitments.
Yeah, the problem is I'm saying it is possible because I don't see the logical contradiction. I can not know the contents of something, but know it's logically possible for it to be the case. Hold on.
Yeah, cool. If you know it's logically
Wait,
possible
hold on.
because you know there entails no contradiction, that's sufficient to make the same argument. That's all that's necessary here, right? You're muted up locally. I'm not sure if you realize that or not. But yeah, as long as we maybe for the people listening so they don't get too bored, right? As long as we understand that the mental and the physical
My bad.
aren't identical.
Can you repeat everything you said? My bad. My grandma came in.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. Yeah, that's all good. I'm just saying that all that's necessary for the argument is just that the mental and the physical aren't identical. If we know that you could have one be different without the other one being different, but that's possible, then it's the case that we know they're not identical.
All right.
Oh, you're cutting out a bit.
Knowledge.
Your ideas look looking on my
end. Do you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your
okay, yeah.
Out,
yeah. Okay, I'll refresh. Hold on.
Cool.
Hello?
What's up? Can you hear me now?
Am I good? Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah, it's not whether
Yeah,
the fact. Okay, yeah. So the problem at hand is not whether the fact that the mental state and the physical facts, quote unquote, are identical, but instead we don't know the nature of the mental state. Therefore, we cannot make the claim about it being identical. You were to say that, well, we have knowledge on all physical facts. However, we don't have knowledge on this thing. Therefore, this thing isn't a physical fact or will be distinct from its identical property. That's just fallacious. You cannot make claims that you don't have knowledge on. Like
well,
the
we don't
claims.
need to. Well, when we definitely can make claims that we don't have knowledge on without it being fallacious. So, for
Yeah,
example, I could say something like I could say something like I believe X, right? Like, and I can affirm X. Right? It wouldn't be the case that I have to say that I know X. I can affirm X.
I'm saying true app claims like this thing is actually true.
Yeah,
I'm saying
you can.
cannot.
I'm disagreeing with that. I'm saying that you can affirm a claim, right, without it being the case that you know that claim.
No, I'm saying for the claim to be adequate. I'm not saying you can't assert baseless claims. I'm saying for you to give an adequate justifier, you cannot give a justifier without having like knowledge on the nature of this thing. But that doesn't really matter.
You can have a justified. Obviously, you can have a justified true belief without having knowledge, and also you can have a justified.
Okay, I don't know about that, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah,
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Gettier cases are going to be the argument against JTB, but
yeah, I don't know if I agree to that.
I think it's tangential.
Yeah, I don't really care about that. I don't think that's relevant with the debate though. So we can go back to whether or not identical state isn't a justifier for your argument.
Yeah, so it is going to be a justifier. So if it's the case that we know that it's metaphysically possible for two things to be identical in one respect, not in the other, then it's the case that those two respects can't be the same.
Okay, the problem is how do we know it is identical with it? So yeah, the problem is you agree that we don't have knowledge on the. Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying you agree to the fact that we don't have nature or knowledge of nature of the mind. So I'm saying that why is it the case that just because we know whether it's identical with the physical facts, that is the case that this mental state is physical or non-physical? I mean.
Yeah, sure. So if we know that it's logically the case, right, that one thing being some such way entails it being the some such way in some other respects.
Wait, what did you
say? If it's one such way. If we know that something being some such way entails
what does that mean?
Such way in some other respects. So I'll give you an example, right? So like let's say that I say that something like all that exists in terms of color supervenes onto physical stuff, right? All that exists color-wise is supervenes onto the physical. So for an object to be red, it has to be the kind of thing that reflects a certain wavelength of light. Now,
Yeah.
if something's identical in terms of all physical respects, then it would be identical in terms of all color respects, right?
If one thing were to be identical in all physical respects, will be identical in all color respects.
Yeah, exactly. If we say that all the colors are just physical stuff, then yeah.
Okay, yeah. If we say that this specific color or property is applied to every single physical thing, then sure. The problem is we don't know whether or not it's applied to the nature of the mind because we don't know the nature of the mind. So sure, from everything we
That's fine.
observed,
Yeah, we don't
hold on,
need to
hold on.
know it.
So yeah, so sure, everything we observed, this person does have every single physical effect identical with oneself. However, we don't know if that applies to the mind because we don't know the nature of the mind, so we cannot make that claim about it. And like actually,
Yeah,
if it's true,
if we don't know the nature of the mind, but we do know it's possible that you could have identical physical respects and not identical mental respects, that's sufficient for the
I
argument.
know. I'm
It doesn't
saying
really
that
matter if we have
I'm saying that I agree with
knowledge
it
of
being
the
possible for
specific
either
nature
side.
of the mind or whatever.
No, I agree with it being possible for either side.
Yeah, if you think it's possible for either side, that's still fine, right? Like, as long as you think it's possible, that's sufficient to make the same argument that they're not identical. So if
So
I
do you
said
want
something like,
to?
well, no, I mean that would just mean like there's just a conclusion here, which is going to just entail that the mind is immaterial.
The problem is I don't believe that until the mind is immaterial. All you're saying is it's possibly the case, which I denied in the first place. I agree that it's possibly the case. I believe my position is possibly the case, which is when the mind is not immaterial.
But that's the issue.
So I'm
right?
saying by
On your
virtue of our
position,
go
the
ahead.
issue is that on your position you can't be committed to the idea that mind's possible. It'd be like if somebody says something like, yes, there's a necessary being which created the universe, and you're like, it's possibly the case there's a necessary being, right? Well, then that's just going to entail the fact that, like, if it's possibly the case, there's a necessary
Well, I never
being,
said anything about the mind being material being a necessary fact that we have. I can say that this thing is the case, but it can be possibly incorrect. Or I can say that the mind being material is likely the case, but it can possibly be incorrect.
No, you're just confused about the argument. Like, on the view, if it's the case that it's possible you to be different mentally, or sorry, like if immaterial minds were possible, for example, right? That would mean that whatever the mind is isn't physical, because
Repeat
immaterial
yourself?
colors. Yeah, so immaterial colors aren't possible, right?
Oh yeah, I agree with that, of course.
Yeah. So are immaterial minds possible?
Yes, I don't see why, because your argument isn't a theater to why it would be possible.
Yeah.
You
So
said how?
all that it needs to be the case for my no, I didn't say how. I'm just saying like, exactly, right? So if it's the case that something is the same in all color respects, that would mean that it's physically identical.
No,
Right?
no. Okay, no. Okay, so we have knowledge on colors. We know that the colors necessarily need some type of physical form. It cannot be material. However, we don't have knowledge on the mind. We cannot make a claim, or we cannot make the claim that it actually be true, or us have knowledge on it being true. Then the mind is actually material, and it being
there's a jump here.
Same with it being immaterial.
Yeah, look, there's a jump here. Like, so saying we don't know X doesn't mean that it's the case that like not X is possible.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that we don't know X.
I'm telling you, I know that's not what you're saying. I'm saying that. Right? I'm saying saying something like we don't know X doesn't mean that not X is possible.
No, I agree with that, but I'm saying that the fact that you haven't given adequate justifier, because all you're saying is that physical facts are identical. I'm saying we don't know whether or not the mind material is a physical fact. Therefore, we cannot make a claim, or not that we cannot make a claim. We don't know if it's true, so your position cannot be justifiable.
No, that would mean that the claim you want to make is not that it's possibly the case, but that you're not sure if it's possibly the case.
No, the problem is intuitively, I believe it's possible because I don't see how it contradicts logic. However, overall, Sinthe, you haven't given an argument as to why this thing is the case. You haven't given an argument as to why it's possible. I'm saying that sure, I can agree to the fact that it's possible. I mean, yeah, but that isn't a justifier.
Yeah, I think you're getting a little. I think you're getting a little confused here, right? So like the issue is just that if it's exactly. So the color analogy was supposed to spell it out, right? So the idea is if it's the case that everything is the same in regards to all physical respects, then
that's the problem, bro. Yeah, that we don't know if that
because of the fact that universal applies. So listen, hold on. Yeah, so we do, right? So the reason why it universally applies is because if something supervenes onto the physical, then if it's the same in all physical respects, it must be the same in the same way supervenes is usually used in like philosophy of mind discussion.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not knowledgeable in this. What do you mean by that?
I just mean like supervenes as in like all of the things about this this matter are just things about this other matter, right?
Okay, the problem, I would agree with that if we actually had knowledge to make that universal claim. However, the universal.
Well, hold on, we're not even
perspective.
Right? So
the universal can't perspective and knowledge. Go ahead.
So look, this is the reason there's the confusion, right? Is because we have to get through this first. So if something supervenes onto the physical, then if it's the identical on the physical respects, then it would be identical in that other respects as well. So if color facts supervene onto physical facts, then if something's identical in terms of physical facts, then it'll be identical in terms of color facts as well. So
And why is that
every apple
separate?
that's identically physical. What? Say again?
Wait, no, get your analogy.
Yeah, so in the case of the apple, right? If something's identical to some apple, it'll have the identical color as the apple, because all color facts supervene onto physical facts about the apple. So if
Yeah,
something
because the
is the
color
same
fact is a
in
physical
all
fact.
mental
Correct?
regards. Say again?
Yeah, because the colored fact is a physical fact, correct?
Exactly. All the color fact is some physical fact. And
Okay,
if
the problem
minds
is you're trying to
are
impose this one to
if
the
minds are
mind,
material, huh?
If that's the problem, though, you're trying to impose this on the mind, but we don't know whether or not this is a physical fact or physical is a physical. We don't know
No.
that.
You're not
You're trying to impose
you're
this
not
thing
tracking
we
me
don't
here,
have
right?
knowledge
This
on.
is a
Hold on,
premise.
hold on. Wait,
No,
wait,
no,
with
no.
that,
Hold on.
with the analogy you gave, we
Okay, go
have
for it.
knowledge
Keep
on
it.
the apple. I was like, identical. Yeah, I'm saying with the analogy you
Alright,
gave,
what?
we have knowledge on the apple and its identical properties. We don't have knowledge on what the mental state is, the nature of the mental state.
Look, here's
We
how
know
we'll
if it's
narrow
a
in.
physical fact. Oh,
So look,
go ahead.
here's how we'll narrow in, right? It is conceivable that P is true and Q is not true. Alright?
Key
So
being
it
what
is
in this
conceivable
instance?
that P is gonna be the case that like all of the metaphysical, physical. Oh, sorry, Jesus Christ, sorry. So the sentence P is true if and only if like the conjunct of all the microphysical truths of our world obtain, right? So
Where's a
all the little
microphysical
tiny
truth?
details about all the little tiny details about the physical
Uh,
stuff. So every single tiny microscopic detail about the physical stuff is true, right? Every single aspect of it, with
and
no
what is Q
exceptions,
that we cannot
including like
conceive?
the fucking spins. And Q, yes, hold on. So and then Q is going to be some truth, some phenomenal truth, right? That
What is a
obtains in the
phenomenal
actual world.
truth?
So one
Is that
example would be something like the mental stuff, like the mind. So it is conceivable that all the physical stuff about something is true, and not all the same mental stuff about something is true.
okay? So why? Okay, so why is Q not conceivable?
I'm not saying it's not conceivable.
Okay, then let's conclude then.
That's not the argument. No, we should. It's not the case that we must conclude. I don't know why you keep skipping to that. Look, so premise one of the argument is just it's conceivable that all the physical facts about something are the case, but that it has different mental facts. So, for example, you
But
have
it's
different. You can have a
conceivable.
different mental fact.
The contrary
Huh?
is also conceivable. The
Yep.
contrary is also
Yep.
conceivable.
That's not the premise. Yep.
Okay,
I don't
I
know why
just
you
want
keep
to.
saying that. Look, the premise is not. That's fine, right? Look, premise one is just it is conceivable that all the physical facts about something remain the same, but the mental facts about them change.
All the
That's
physical
premise one.
facts.
Do we agree with that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't say
correct.
I agree with that, blah blah blah. Yeah,
Yeah,
just tell me you
if
agree,
sure,
okay?
sure,
Okay.
sure.
It is conceivable, right? That all the physical stuff could remain the same about you, but you could not have a mind anymore, for example. That's conceivable, right? You would still be acting like you currently do, but secretly behind the
I don't know
scenes,
what
there's
you
no
mean by
mind.
having a mind.
You're
I
just an
agree that you don't.
automaton.
I agree that you don't have to have a functioning mind if that's what you mean by not having a mind.
Yeah,
I
look,
don't
you
know if
can
this.
you can go about doing by having a mind. I just mean something like you know how like we have firsthand experiences, like you know how what it's like to see certain things, like what it's like of an experience,
What it's like,
experiences
sure.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like imagine that something doesn't have that. It's just an automaton that acts identically to you.
Okay, so if you're saying it's just existing, because I don't know if the mind is like an essential property of a human or anything like that. We have knowledge on that. So if you're just saying first experience, like the mind not being functioning, then sure, yeah, we can conceive of the mind not being functioning.
So we can we're saying not saying it's not functioning, right? But that'd be fine if you just want to say like you could imagine a non-functioning mind. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
agreeing to.
if it's but that's not what I was asking.
Okay, what are you asking?
Yeah, all I'm
Okay,
asking.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Could you imagine somebody having identical physical facts but not having a mind?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yes, because I don't know if the mind is some essential property that a human has.
So are you just agnostic on if it's the case the mind is physical or not?
Yes, that's why. That's why I want you to give your
Okay.
argument.
Yeah, so I thought it was the case that you were saying that you think the mind is. I thought at the beginning you said
No,
that you
I
thought
don't
the
think we
case that
have.
the mind is material.
No, I don't think we have knowledge on this.
Yeah.
I don't know why the stage is called that.
Oh, I don't know. I asked you at the beginning, and I thought you said maybe you just didn't hear me because of the audio connection or something. So look, if the argument is just one, it's possible, right, that all the physical facts about something remain the same, but the mental facts about it change. So, for example, something could be an automaton, right?
How do we know
Somebody
that?
could be like, How do we know that it's possible?
Okay, all the physical facts. Okay, look,
because
I'll
it
say this.
entails no
Hold
contradiction.
on, wait, hold on. Before we get to that, so sure, all the physical facts can remain the same. However, you're saying that it's conceivable that the mental facts don't remain the same. The problem that presupposes that that mental state is not physical, because if all the physical facts remain the same, which would be P and Q, which the mental state remains the same if it were to be physical.
Yeah, that's begging the question in favor of the materialist view.
No, the problem is that would be begging the question on your end, because presupposing that that Q is unconceivable or it's just impossible, you just cannot conceive of this
No,
thing.
it's not begging the question. None of my conclusion doesn't show up in the premises. So
the problem is you're using Q, which is that this thing is not the case, to justify this thing not being the case. That being that the mental state is a non-physical fact.
No,
isn't an argument.
look, what you would. Yeah, you said I'm saying something. I'm obviously not saying that. Very clearly the case I'm not saying that, right? I'm just saying that it's possible that all the physical facts about you could be different. And the mental facts about you, sorry, vice versa. All the physical facts about you could be the same, but the mental facts could be different.
Yeah, I'm saying that hypothetical.
So if we agree, the hypothetical wouldn't be begging the question.
I know.
But what conclusion? Yeah, look, tell me which of the premises is the conclusion.
Yeah, the premise 2, which would be Q cannot be inferred. Q being the fact that the
that's not premise 2.
Yeah, hold on. So what do you believe?
That's not premise 2.
What do you believe premise 2 is?
Premise 2 of the argument we haven't even gotten to yet. I've only given you premise 1. You said I was begging the question.
I said the hypothetical.
We're on premise 1 right now. Premise 1 is it is possible, right? That P is true and Q is not true. That P is true just means like all the physical facts about the same are identical, and Q is not true just means it's not the case that all of the mental facts about the same are identical. Logical modal scope, if that's what you just asked.
Okay, sure. So sure, it can be logically possible. So we can move on to the next premise. I already gave my position on that.
Is your position that yes, it is logically possible?
Sure, it can be logically possible. Sure.
Okay. So if it is logically possible, then it is metaphysically possible. Do we agree with that?
Metaphysically possible just being a physical possibility, right?
Physical possibility would be that. Metaphysical possibility is not that.
What is a metaphysical possibility?
I just take metaphysical possibility to be identical to logical possibility.
Okay, then sure.
Okay. So then, if it's the case that it's metaphysically possible that all of the facts about something physically are the same, but all of the facts mentally about something are not the same, then it wouldn't be the case that the mental facts and the physical facts are identical.
Yeah, I would agree with that if the hypothetical were to go through, sure.
If antecedent, then consequent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the antecedent is true because of our earlier premise. So we can conclude that the consequence is true. It's just a valid argument.
Okay, you said that. Okay, so a valid argument and a logically sound argument are two distinct things. I understand that you can believe the conclusion.
Yeah, in this case, it's sound because you agree with all of the.
Wait.
Yeah, in this case, it's the same because you.
Yeah, the problem is I'm saying you're hypothetical since you're not applying it to be a hypothetical anymore, but instead you're using the argument to say P implies Q. I'm saying I disagree with Q. I don't understand why Q should go through since that would be question begging. What's put into question is
Q is
mental state. Hold on.
Q is not a proposition.
Oh my! No, Q is your conclusion. I'm saying you're presupposing your conclusion.
Oh no!
Q is the consequence.
Look, the consequent goes through because we agree with the material implication and we agree with the antecedent.
No. The antecedent would be within this context. This claim of physical, or they can't logically.
Look. So here's the argument in like just form, right? So you don't have to worry about any of the details of it. Just tell me if you think that this argument is sound if the premises are true. Premise 1, P. Premise 2, P implies Q. Conclusion, Q.
Okay, so what do you think P is? The first P.
Sorry, answer my question, please.
P implies. Okay, you said P, and then P implies P, and then P implies Q.
No. Nope. What did you say? P implies Q, therefore Q.
Sure.
Okay. The answer is yes, right? If the premises are true, that would be a sound argument, right?
Yes, if the conclusion is true, yes. If it logically follows.
Cool. Now just replace P with the statement, it is possible that all of the physical facts about something are identical, and all of the mental facts about something are not identical. That's what P is. Right?
Wait, what was the last thing you said? It is possible that
it is possible that all of the physical facts about something are identical and all of the mental facts about something are not identical.
Sure, it can
You
be
agree with
possible.
this? Okay,
Uh-huh.
sure. We agree with P, right? And now here's the Q.
Under the hypothetical that I agree
That
already.
P is going to imply Q, right? And Q is just the statement that
The problem
the
is, hold on,
physical facts and the physical facts and the mental facts are not identical. That's Q, right? We agree that P implies Q.
no. I said if. The problem is you haven't actually explained why the hypothetical has correspondence. You haven't given adequate reason as to why the mental state
It's
would
a
be
material
non-physical.
implication. It's not a hypothetical.
Hold on.
It's a
You said
material
if. That's,
implication,
that's
not
the
a
indicator for
hypothetical.
hypothetical. But anyways, so once again, you
No,
haven't
it's not a
explained why.
hypothetical.
Hold on. Let me please. You haven't explained once again why the mental state would not correspond with the physical facts because you're presupposing that
Look,
this will be a
don't jump
non-physical
forward.
fact.
Don't jump
That's my
forward.
argument. I already said this.
Yeah, look, do you agree that P, and we agree P implies Q, right?
No, I said under the hypothetical, sure.
I'm asking you not under the hypothetical, but is it the case that P implies Q?
I already
If
get my
P, then
position on
Q,
that. I
right?
already get my position on that, Sinthe.
I don't know if you did or didn't. It seems like you gave a contradictory set of position. I don't know which
Like
one's
I
yours.
said, under the hypothetical, quote unquote, that the isn't material, then sure.
No. Not under the hypothetical, the mind isn't material. I'm asking you, do you agree it's possible that all of the physical facts about something could be identical and the mental facts could be different? And you said yes. Now I'm saying
I said possible.
you did say yes to that.
No, I'm
yes,
saying
possible. Yes, that's what yes means. That's what yes means.
Hold on, Sinthe. Let me finish, please. So I said under the hypothetical multiple times. I'm saying if it is true
Stop
that
saying
the
under the
mental state.
hypothetical.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Jesus.
I said if it is true that it is the case that the mental state is not physical, then sure they don't have to be identical. Or if it is physical, then they have to be identical by virtue of what a physical fact is.
Yep, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you think it's possible that they could be different, then you got an issue for your view. You've got a contradiction.
No, I said hypothetically, if one of these premises are true, then sure it can be possible. However, if they aren't identical,
oh my God,
then it cannot be possible. It would be a logical contradiction.
I'm asking you very directly, right? You've given me the confirmation earlier this is true. Now you're saying it's not the case that it's true. You're saying
no, I said under the hypothetical.
Now I want you to listen to this, and you're gonna look. You can learn more about the subject if you just fucking listen. I'm trying to.
No,
you told me you wanted to learn about the subject.
Yeah,
I'm going with the goal of letting you learn about the subject.
Yeah, go
right.
ahead.
So just just like let me guide you through it. Right? Okay.
Yeah,
look. So now we're saying it is possible. Right. This is the claim. It is possible that the physical fact could be identical and the mental fact could be different. Earlier you said that's true. Do you think it's not true that it's possible?
Sinthe, our position on that. We can continue, even if I did say
answer
it was possible.
With a yes or a no. Don't go on some like little rambling diatribe. Answer directly, yes or no.
And I already answered directly.
Answer the yes or no.
One of these premises are true. I already, even if I did say it's possible, I can just clarify now.
Jesus Christ! So look, now you did say that, so that's why I'm asking for a direct yes or no, because you're confusing yourself by rambling. You're confusing yourself by rambling.
I don't have to ramble at all. I literally said it was possible under the hypothetical, but even if I didn't say it,
I'm not asking is it possible under the hypothetical.
I know what you're not.
I'm asking is it possible?
Yeah, I know. Let's conclude. I know the claim. Like, it's not an argument.
Is it possible? Yes or no?
I already gave my position on that, so we can conclude.
Was your position a yes or a no?
I understand claim, Sinthe. I'm not going to answer the question, so I already answered it multiple times.
You haven't. Was your answer a yes or a no?
I understand you don't believe I answered that, but I'm not going to be limited.
Was your answer a yes or a no? If you already answered it, it should be easy. Just remember back to your answer.
Oh, I
yes or a no.
My answer just because it's unproposed doesn't mean I don't remember.
Was it a yes or a no?
I already told you my answer multiple times. I told you.
What was it? Was it a yes or a no?
Yeah.
Why are you so fucking scared of answering this question?
It's not that I'm scared; it's that I answered it multiple times.
Your answer was yes, wasn't it?
I mean, you can think it was yes.
Was your answer no?
And you can think it was no. That doesn't defeat my argument.
You're such a fucking rat, you little worm. You fucking evasive bitch. Answer my question.
You calling me a rat isn't a rhetorical tool, so I don't know why you use that.
This is a rhetorical tool. I'm pointing out that you're weaseling away from engaging with the fucking argument. You said yes. You said nice and clearly yes. Now I'm asking you, do you want to confirm it again?
That means nothing. Like, what the fuck?
Everyone remembers you saying yes to that.
I already know you're gonna dick sucker. I don't care what you say. So we can conclude.
Answer my question.
I already answered your question.
Dog, you've been begging to conclude this entire discussion.
I'm a dick sucker. You literally said yes to this question. What are you talking?
You shut up, bro.
Don't tell me to shut up. You called me out to be a dick sucker.
I never said you were a dick sucker. I said you were going to suck his dick. You were going to suck it. But anyway, Sinthe.
1 a.m. It was a really simple
Anyways.
question on the table, and you're running like a bitch from it. Answer the question, bitch.
Anyways.
Anyways, please, let's conclude. Let's conclude. Bitch, stop giving up and answer the fucking question.
Oh man,
You're about to learn about the fucking subject if you just answer the goddamn question. If you humble yourself, bitch.
Me personally, I wouldn't let it slide.
Oh, shut up, bro.
Answer the question, bitch. Answer the question, bitch. It's a yes or a no question.
Position.
No, you didn't. The only position that you've given so far is say yes.
Answer the question, bitch. Answer the question. You sound retarded, dumbass nigga.
What are you doing? You sound like a fucking idiot right now. Is your goal in this discussion to make a goddamn fool of yourself? You know jack shit about the subject. You admitted to know jack shit about it. You told me you wanted to learn. Now shut the fuck up. Either shut the fuck up and let me teach you.
Listen, because I gave
fuck up and let me teach you. Or humble your fucking self. Humble your fucking self and engage in the goddamn argument.
I already understand what you're saying. I can't learn.
You are a brain damaged fucking retard. You haven't engaged in shit in this goddamn conversation. What you went through in this conversation was a fucking rape. Go ahead and try your best to answer the question.
Yo, rape is not a joke.
You can think that. I definitely answered the question, but yeah, we can conclude.
You haven't answered shit. Right? The only time you answered that question was when you said yes, and then you're telling me you haven't said yes. That's the only way you've answered the question is with a fucking yes.
You can think that, like, so you can.
Now you're saying, "Oh, I'm saying under the hypothetical." Shut the fuck up,
I've been saying that the entire time. But
shut the fuck up, bitch. The only words coming out of your mouth right now should be yes or no.
I understand you think that, but you're not going to limit me to what I can say, bitch. Anyways,
you're not going to say shit in this conversation. You're going to run away like a bitch.
But I just said something. X.
All you said was dodging. All you said was dodging. All you said was dodging.
Fuck out of you, nigga. I just said it. What are you gonna do?
You're gonna slap the fuck out of me? You're getting your shit slapped right now, bitch. I'm clapping your fucking cheeks right now. You got nothing to do about it.
You can't even try.
Answer the fucking simple question.
He's 15 years old. He's 15 years old.
He's 15 IQ. He's 15 IQ.
Wow, that was really funny. Ha ha ha. Shut the fuck up.
Bro, you're getting fucking bited in the discussion right now. You're getting fucking rolled over. You're getting fucking flipped around.
I know you think that, but that isn't an argument.
You can't answer the question. I gave you a fucking question that tails the conclusion. You're fucked. You got premise locked. You got fucking premise locked on day 0.
You just don't understand it.
Apparently, you got pedophile accusations, somebody said.
Bro, how the fuck you a pedophile? Okay, no.
Wait, how old are you?
Of course, you can be a 15-year-old pedophile.
How old are you?
Of course, you can be a 15-year-old pedophile.
Like, do something about it, nigga. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. Somebody's telling me you got pedophile accusations.
They're lying. They're trolling. But even if they were to be
that's true.
Like, I don't really care.
Damn, dog. Even if they weren't trolling, ooh.
Yeah,
you can't answer that question either.
Like, y'all can call me.
Why do you have pedophile accusation? Yeah, I want mine.
Sure. I guess I touch little kids, my nigga. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, why do you have pedophile accusation?
Do something about it, nigga. I touch little kids. I talk little bro. Like, what the fuck? Do something.
Bros conceded the fucking kids point.
By the way, they were talking about you, dumbass. But it doesn't matter. I can touch.
Bro, answer the question. Everyone's talking about you. They're saying you got pedophile accusations.
They literally were talking about you.
They're saying you got pedophile accusations. They said talk about the 1 a.m. pedophile accusation. I'm giving you mine.
He was talking about Dirty Chicken Fingers comments.
Yeah,
Sakazuki literally said he was talking about
Dirty Chicken Fingers called you a
Chicken
pedophile.
Finger said you're a pedophile.
I don't care. I'm talking about Sakazuki. I don't care what Dirty.
Bro, nobody's talking about Sakazuki right now. I don't give a fuck about Sakazuki.
But
we both got allegations.
Yo.
Who's accusing me of being a pedophile?
Sakazuki, but we could just both be pedophiles.
Who? Sakazuki? The Sakazuki, did I fuck you? Is that what happened?
Yo, Sinthe, how old are you?
Too old to be fucking